And the top of the morning to you, lads and lasses. 'Tis a fine day for a cloudy times in the interlocality, wouldn't you be saying? Anna McGinnis. Ain't you be wearing a lucky green on you, lad? You'll be getting the pinch. You'll be getting the pinch. You'll be getting it. Aye! I'd be pinching myself. I don't know how to do this accent. Ah, the lucky green. Now, see if you darlings out there will be doing the old little pinch on old Jonathan O'Hannessy here. Morning, folks. Are we live yet? Are we awake yet? And are we keeping our sanity this morning? Yeah. Responding to an earlier video concerning about certain musics out there would relay a message, and how music usually affects us. And I'm thinking about tomorrow, and all this past couple of weeks, I've been thinking about how the hell to fix corned beef. Okay, you flipped on that one, didn't you? Good. I'd seen a lot of videos about how to fix corned beef. I've never been able to fix it except making the meat even tougher and tougher. My brother a long time ago could do it. He could stick it on. When we actually had stoves working, we could actually cook the corned beef, and then there would be tender meat. And then he'd fix the cabbage, and then potatoes and carrots. I'd eat the potatoes and carrots with the corned beef. I just wouldn't touch the cabbage. Ma would. She loved it. She grew up on the stuff, so she could have it. She kept force feeding the stuff down in my throat ever since when I was growing up as a kid. It's no wonder I couldn't stand broccoli. I couldn't stand asparagus, cauliflower. They had this lousy taste. It was soured. It was sour in the mouth. How the hell was I supposed to eat it? With butter. Ugh. Couldn't deal with the butter on the damn thing. Snow peas. Well, I'll deal with it. But there was a format of food I could deal with it, and that was Chinese food. But there was a liquid that you would use in it. Anybody know the term of soy sauce? So every time there was Chinese food, there was always soy sauce. I drown everything in soy sauce. Eat the soy sauce with the starch, with the meat, and then with the vegetables. I would use use a fork and knife. No, just fork or spoon. I got older as an adult. I tried to maintain some kind of dexterity with my fingers so I can do uh, chopsticks. So I could actually. But I would eat the broccoli. I would eat the water chestnuts. Well, water chestnuts were okay. They were in stuffing, and I ate that, so I didn't have any reaction to that one. As in, no, because water chestnuts were tasteless as hell. Throw some soy sauce. All you taste is the soy sauce. Okay, no problem. Salty as hell, but you taste the soy sauce. Mongolian beef. Yoshinoya beef bowls, actually. You go to these places, and they would have the vegetables. They would have the rice bowls. Pour a hell of a lot of kikkoman on them. And they were downright disgusting, and you'd eat them anyway, and you're like, ah. Your mouth is like, water, please. But I'd eat the vegetables in there, or else I'd get the stuff without the vegetables. These days, I'm doing vegetables. I mean, I need to do another grocery shopping and thinking I need bean sprouts. If I can saute the bean sprouts and frozen vegetables together, and throw meat into it, so just checking, I'd have me a pretty good stir fry, wouldn't I? I would have me some lo mein or chow mein. Lo mein would be the noodles in it. Chow mein is without the noodles. But throw rice in it, that'd be edible. I talk about food like that because I'm also talking about things I got to set up myself for. Tomorrow is the gift of the blarney. The madness of a shamrock invading our poor wee little brains. Would we seen the shamrock all over the place, or we'd be going crazy over the colour of green? And if you're not be having the colour of green, or an Irish accent, or of any of that kind of ilk, what are you? Normal? Say that to the folks in Ireland, and Beryl was thinking, oh my God, where's this guy coming from? Crazy American doesn't know his Aspen Hot Rock. Well, tis me too, darlings. I do not know my Aspen Hot Rock. My hot rock is outside, and my ass is on me. That being said, yes, for the American tradition of beating the crap out of people left and right because they're not wearing green, my vest. That's the only major source of green I've got. And I had to do this stuff every single year growing up as a kid. Either wear something green or get pinched. I hated getting pinched. I'd seen people with green eyes like, you lucky bastard. You can be a different color but have green eyes like, you lucky bastard. You got green in your eyes. Or even better yet, somebody would actually have maybe a temporary tat or a permanent tat head that would have the pigmentation of green in it. You bastard, yeah. What do you think you'd be doing with all your lucky charms on you? Off with you, you leprechaun! And the curse of all your fantasy gold with you. People will be seeing the rainbows left and right and trying to chase after them. I'm like, you're chasing after water refraction? Give me a break. But chase your rainbows. Who knows? If you see Shana Deeford out there with his lucky pot of crack of gold, keep that lucky the leprechaun away from me. Bad luck he be. Cause he'd up a storm every time you came coming near his gold, and every time he'd be smiling his laugh off. W. Keefe, they be saying to this gentleman, is the person you be watching it. He has a way of tricking people left and right. And whether or not to be taking that final courage to the sky. Yeah. You and I am not so privileged to such a trip. But Darby O'Gillis will be with me during that time. Mark the words. Mark me words, lad. But I am not ready for the final carriage, think ye, and take heed on that. I am not chasing after the crack of gold. I to make me own gold. I not be taking lead and make it into gold. I just make my own gold. Geologic impossibility. But the science of the earth is a lot different than what the science of mythology is, isn't it? We can talk about the science of mythology until we're green and gold in the face, shall we say. And after seeing things happening these days, I'm wondering whether or not I was lucky to be Irish or not. When the islands were getting invaded back in the early 1000 AD, they were spreading about left and right. The conquests, the conquerors of Europe itself coming into the islands that would have been considered the United Kingdom slash Great Britain slash England, Scotland, and Ireland, and other places. And some would have their own brogues, their own accents, their own language. their own cultures. And it was hard enough when you have an empire being built, kingdoms wanting more power and more control, that they would have to extend it to the other islands. It's no wonder that one particular island, an emerald green island, it had to be split apart because of politics and religion at the same time. Studying into history and world history in sporadic chunks and trying to learn more about it. Either they made you be discouraged about it, disparaged, or probably be a little miffed about what happens. And which particular side would you get miffed at? St. Patrick? Did anybody ever know about the history of St. Patrick's Day? Or why we celebrated St. Patrick? I mean, hell, we could put it on Google search and get the information that way, and people dying things left and right. They got the Guinnesses, they have the green, they got the this. Okay, let's see if we go into the Britannica.com, shall we? And we shall talk about St. Patrick, the bishop and patron saint of Ireland. Ireland. What is it? I gotta get the pronunciation of this damn thing right. Okay. You know, there are websites out there to help you with the Irish language alphabet pronunciations. There are a lot of names out there that we're probably screwing it up left and right because we Americans don't know our ass from a hot rock unless, of course, we already had been um, over to the Emerald Island or came directly from the. But let me get into St. Patrick without talking about it. Ooh. Okay, according to Britannica.com, St. Patrick was a 5th century missionary to Ireland and later served as bishop. He's credited bringing Christianity to parts of Ireland and was probably partially responsible for the Christianization of the Picts and Anglo-Saxons. Satron paints. It's just a little highlights. Now, when I said about religion and politics coming into the Ireland, into the Emerald Green itself, Patrick himself was born in Britain, in a Romanized family. Irish raiders tore him from the villa of his father, Calpurnius, who was a deacon and minor local official, and they put Patrick into slavery. Several bleak years as a herdsman, which he turned with fibber to his face. I mean, basically, he was learning how to be a shepherd, but a shepherd of different flocks. Fortunately, he went back to Britain and had a rough time trying to get reunited back to his family. But there are more information. I'm trying to say, what was it that this guy was so into it that we had to follow him like crazy? Except he didn't exactly like what was happening with the politics and people's religion. Force you to believe and think of one particular way instead of one that you've been thinking about and believing in all along. Deeply moving. Hang on one second. I'm still trying to read some of this stuff. Well, I'm reading some of the shortened version of this thing, and I'm still trying to scratch my head on this one. Because apparently he entered into the priesthood and was sent over to Ireland to convert the masses. Now, somehow there are tribes out there, well, during those times, that wouldn't want to deal with it. They didn't want to be converted because they had their own damn beliefs. But he struggled trying to find a balance, apparently. And when he came back to England, he didn't want to consider himself a martyr at any time or any martyrdom. Some people thought he was trying to secure an office just to secure the office in Britain, and they really had an issue with him over that. But they also lauded him for his success. He was simply a simple guy doing something that he wanted to do in the first place. He chose to go back to Ireland and talk with him about his own religious belief, but not trying to convert the masses, though. Some of his writings would tell the rest of the world about how and why he did what he did. And I'm just trying to see what. I don't know. It's just a little convoluted for this particular kid over here because politics and religions are intermingled with the Britannica article here. That I may have to search out another article trying to get something simpler. Yeah, I hate going to Wikipedia at this point. Sometimes the information is not all that accurate, but then again, I still need something for it anyway. But people kept celebrating him because they thought he was um, a very good spiritual leader. Somehow, they said he drove away the snakes out of Ireland. There was always that kind of rumor. But I think he was just a simple guy. Led by maybe he did have visions or dreams of what things needed to be done. So, not sent by any clergy or governments. It was just simply sent there. And I guess somehow, through his misadventures, maybe there was supposed to be strengthening his own level of spirituality, of him understanding what Christianity was supposed to be, and how his misadventures was trying to train him and produce something of a legend that we still celebrate. But I'm not quite so sure if how he's supposed to be looked at. I mean, some people looked at him as a Christian missionary, and other people looked at him as, oh my God, who the hell is this asshole? Is he going to convert the masses, or is he going to be driving us nuts with it? But there's a lot of things that people actually assigned to him that we take for granted. Using shamrocks as an illustrative parable, or banishing snakes, or a fast on the mountain. I mean, I'm looking at the stuff that they're posting on Wikipedia on this. Him trying to make peace with the island, bring it into the level of God, and have God deal with it. But I keep asking myself, and I keep asking myself, what are we doing with this gentleman here? I mean, okay, fine. He went over to Ireland. He tried to convert the masses. He tried to understand them in his adult life, but his youth, he got kidnapped and sold into slavery and learned how to be a herdsman, leading sheep and stuff. But all the, but this is Catholicism as well. Catholicism did come out of Christianity. It was a form of it. But I grew up under the Protestant stuff, so I never did deal with the saints. I never did deal with any of that. Heard about them, but I didn't worship any saints. Still don't. Doesn't mean that I should be asking myself, am I going to be giving credence to that? People do. But we're doing it all the time, every time we keep celebrating uh, St. Patrick. Or maybe some of the other saints that I'm still unfamiliar with. What is related to this culture, this thing that we deal with? History.com, help me out with this, please. Okay, sorry. It's, hush, hish. History.com with all of his videos popping up left and right, driving me nuts. Okay, so basically what History Channel was trying to tell me, and I didn't see this on the other channels, that he was born to wealthy parents in Great Britain, and around age 16, he was taken prisoner by a group of Irish raiders who were attacking his family's estate. They transported him to Ireland, 6 years of captivity. They were still disputing that to this day. He worked as a shepherd, outdoors and away from people, lonely and afraid. He turned to religion for solace, became a devout Christian. It is also believed that Patrick first began to dream of converting the Irish people to Christianity during his captivity. Well, some of the other stories they were still trying to knock down was banishing all snakes from Ireland. And St. Patrick was never canonized by the Catholic Church, but during that time, he was doing a lot of work for God. They quickly assumed he was a saint. He had visions. When he was in Ireland, and he was growing older after being captive over there, there was a voice telling him in a dream that it was time to leave Ireland. So he went to the Irish coast, went to England, got another dream saying that he had to return to Ireland as a missionary. Okay, Patrick, still deep in his religious belief and yeah, trained as a missionary. Went back. After his ordination as a priest, he was sent to Ireland with a dual mission to minister to the Christians already living in there and converting the Irish. Those who were born already colonized there centuries ago and making it their own place to live, but their own way of looking at things. According to History.com, okay, familiar with the Irish language and culture, Patrick chose to incorporate traditional rituals into his lessons of Christianity instead of attempting to eradicate the native Irish beliefs. Incorporating. How do we incorporate one particular belief into a religious understanding? Bonfires used to celebrate Easter, since the Irish were used to honoring their gods with fire. Superimpose the sun, a powerful Irish symbol, into the Christian cross to create what is now called a Celtic cross. So the veneration of the symbol would seem more natural to the Irish. And a lot of the Irish were practicing a nature-based pagan religion. Irish culture is centered upon a rich tradition of oral legend and myth, When this was considered, it's no surprise that the story of Patrick's life became exaggerated over the centuries. Spinning tales to remember history had always been part of the Irish way of life. He was also never canonized by the Catholic Church. It was simply due to the era he lived in. During the first millennium, there was no formal canonization process to the Catholic Church. After becoming a priest and helping to spread Christianity throughout Ireland, Patrick is likely proclaimed a saint by popular acclaim. So we're doing this shamrocks. We're celebrating a priest that had brought Christianity in his own way. But then, as I said before, politics has a way. Especially when you have kingdoms decided they should be part of our realm. I mean, more directly. We need to have more realm in it. So, what was it, about the 17 or 1800s? We had a group of Sinn Féin growing up at that point in the Irish. Oh God, what was it again? I need to get that information about Sinn Féin. And this is, excuse me. I need to get the timeline for this one. There goes the damn throat again. Sorry, guys. Round two, maybe?